Service. What is up, listeners? Welcome back to another episode of the Full Service Podcast. I am Tank Smith, your host. Today is episode 79. Thanks for being here. Shout out to my guests from last week, Cherith Carter. Cherith, I appreciate you coming on the podcast. That was so much fun. Listeners, if you have not yet, give last week's episode a listen. Give Cherith a follow. She is on Twitter at Cherith Carter. I have links to her Twitter, her OnlyFans, her website in the show notes from last week. Hit them show notes. Show her some love. As always, you can find us on Twitter, on Instagram at Full Service Pod. I am at Tank Funkadelic. If you enjoy the show, make sure you are subscribed on whatever platform you're listening to us on. Hit that like button, that follow button, that little plus button. Maybe it's a little heart button. You'll be alerted as soon as those new episodes drop every single Tuesday. If you want to support the show, the best way to do that, Patreon. Patreon.com/fullservicepod, where you can hear exclusive episodes you cannot hear anywhere else. It's a good time. Check it out. Patreon.com/fullservicepod. If you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, if you have an iPhone, hit us with a 5-star rating, write us a review. That helps so much for visibility for the show. Today, episode 79. I'm so excited for this episode. It's cool, like, when I'll do this podcast, right, and I'll have conversations with people, and while they're happening, I'm like, this is going well. This is good. People are going to love this. And I get to the end, and I'm like, that was fucking great. And then, like, I don't listen to it for a couple weeks, and then I'll listen to it, like, right before it comes out, because I gotta, like, edit it, make sure everything's good, and I'll listen again, and I'm like, this is so good. This is so good. People are going to fucking love this. And that's how I feel about today's episode. So, I mean, like, yeah, you'll hear it. My guest today is Chicago-based escort Janelle Park. We sat down a couple weeks ago when she was in Atlanta. It's hard to even summarize this conversation because we talk about so much shit. We talk about Chicago. We talk about Atlanta. We talk about Sesta Fasta. We talk about the Players Club, the movie. I gotta watch it still. I haven't seen it. We talk about Korean culture. We talk about Reddit, why the internet's such a big resource for sex workers. Fucking why sex workers work, brewing kombucha, everything. We talk about it all. So good. So goddamn good. You can find Janelle. She's on Twitter at MeetJanellePark. Her website, meetjanellepark.com. I'm going to stop the old talking. I hope you enjoy this conversation with Janelle Park. Thanks. Welcome back, listeners. It's Tank Smith. I'm so excited for today's episode. My guest is a Chicago-based escort, Janelle Park. Janelle, hey. Thanks for being on the podcast.
What's up? Thanks for having me.
Fuck yeah. Listeners, we're in Atlanta right now. Janelle, how you liking Atlanta so far?
A-Town? No, I'm just kidding. No, Atlanta's awesome. I love Atlanta. It's the city treats me really well. I really love coming here. I still have a lot to explore in the city, but I'm probably gonna end up moving here at some point. It's really near and dear to my heart. Also close to my mom. Real close to my mom. Real cheap too, as compared to Chicago.
Oh, yeah. Like, there's still spots that are, like, expensive as fuck, but you can find a good spot in Atlanta if you really like.
You can.
Yeah.
If I want to find a good spot in Chicago, it's literally not Chicago. And that's just by definition.
Yeah.
In terms of the price point.
God damn. I saw you guys, like, the other week, like, the lake froze over, and then you got this slush and shit happening.
The lake did freeze over. So
what the fuck? That's wild.
I haven't been in Chicago for that long, but the lake is supposed to freeze over. Due to climate change, it has not. Yeah, I said it. Climate change. Fight me about it. That's a real thing. Hot take.
We get into a
hot take. Let's start another podcast on climate change. But no, seriously, because it hasn't been happening as much. We've been having really sporadic winters. There have been a few times in the winter where I've like walked around. It's been in the 50s. But this particular blizzard, swear to God, I saw a guy ice fishing on Montrose Beach. Close. So he did his checks. He had the things with him, but it was cold enough. I saw this, and it made it on Reddit, on the Chicago Reddit.
Okay.
He was ice fishing. I walked past him when I do a walk in the mornings.
Okay.
Long walk, sometimes a run, depends on how I'm feeling. Ice fishing. Never seen it. Right there, the lake was frozen. That's proof that at least Chicago's lake is healing.
God damn.
So I'm happy about that.
I've always wanted to go ice fishing. I feel like it'd be kind of fun.
I think it's dangerous. And I don't take unnecessary. Janelle Risk Management Park. I don't take unnecessary risks. I'm not going like ice fishing. I don't like that.
Yeah, it's.
I don't care that much about fishing. I don't care much about ice.
I never been to Chicago.
Really?
No, I never been.
Insane.
Yeah.
You're from here.
I'm from here.
You guys have. This is United Hub, right? You guys have direct flights to Chicago for real cheap. That's the only reason I come here all the time. $70 anytime.
70.
Probably, unless you wait till the last minute. We have super affordable flights between the two destinations for cheap. That's why you see a lot of creatives flying back and forth. Like, think about it. Like, a lot of the Chicago rap scene goes to Atlanta to live. Like, and the creatives, photographers. I mean, a lot of escorts. Like, it's really like if people travel back and forth between these two areas because we have United as a hub. It's easy to get back and forth.
Well, we got fucking, our airport's huge, y'all's airport's huge. Just like,
it's just like you don't get those direct flights all the time, though.
Yeah.
There are other huge airports. Like, we don't have direct flights to MIA. You know what I mean? You can get some cheap flights, but it's a guaranteed always cheap to Atlanta. That's just the truth. Cheap, frequent as well.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it's like they're there. They're like, you can get one as early as you want or as late as you want. I can fly here in the morning and leave the same day, and it won't cost that much money.
Fuck yeah.
Sorry.
No.
I would say sorry. My bad. I'm a chronic apologizer.
We will not have that on the Full Service Podcast.
Anybody who knows me knows I do that. Anyone who's listening to this, who's met me, you've heard me say sorry 50 times. Even if you just knew me for like 1 hour.
If I'm going to Chicago, what should I do?
Well, it depends on what you want to do, but for me, when I go to a city, the first thing I like to do is I like to get my tourist pins, just because why the fuck not? So you go to the Bean, obviously.
That's the big like silver thing.
Yeah, the name of the sculpture is technically like, I think it's Cloudgate 3. I might be wrong on the numeral.
The Bean is better.
It's it's a cult name, but the artist, it's Cloudgate. So you take a picture in the Cloudgate sculpture. I would go to Hancock 360 just to get a cool, like the views. And then I would go get some deep dish. People are going to fight me on this. I'm going to say, because if you're a tourist and you're staying probably in the Mag Mile area, just go to fucking Labriola's. Like, it's just right there. Okay. Who cares? They're not that different. You fight me.
Is that
none of it is that good. Like, oh my God, it's pizza. Just go to Labriola's. It's right there.
So is that not like somewhere Chicagoans going to go? They're going to go somewhere else for their pizza?
I'm not a Chicagoan, and to be honest, I have not had this many. I think a Chicagoan would fight me on this. I think a Chicagoan would go to, I don't even know. I'm not from Chicago. Sorry, fight me. But I know there's a place that people go and it's not Labriola's.
Someone's listening to this podcast right now. They're very upset.
So sorry, Chicago. I love you. You're my chosen city. I'm still learning. I know that people go other places, but I literally have only lived in 3 neighborhoods. There's 78 neighborhoods.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
The culture of every neighborhood is different.
I remember this summer when all the George Floyd shit happened. There was like a bunch of protests down here. Fucking Chicago.
Feels like years ago.
I know, right?
We did have riots.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, y'all got a little wild up there in Chicago.
And it was weird because the things that were happening was like, okay, where people started rioting was like the neighborhood that I live in, and it's a neighborhood. That makes sense. If you're gonna do a riot, do it in, because Chicago cares so much. Yeah, and other people are gonna not like this. Chicago cares so much about money, and a lot of money is built on like these capitalist endeavors, and like the Dior stores. I don't care. Small businesses got hurt.
They were fucking up Buckhead.
I saw them.
They were fucking up Buckhead.
I saw them at is it Phillips?
Yeah, Phipps Plaza.
My bad.
Yeah,
I saw them at Phipps. That was crazy. I saw people I didn't see them doing anything to Linux. I saw them at Phipps, so I was like, damn. But it's just like, a riot is the language of the unheard. They want people to hear them. If people don't care about lives, if they care more about property than they do care about lives, then destroy the property. I get it. Small businesses were destroyed during that will never recover. That's one. I got hit hard by one of those small businesses. A black-owned nail salon got fucking, like, they're never coming back.
No, fuck.
Like, they came back, and then a car just ran through we had a crazy car crash, and it ran right through their window. So I feel badly about that, but at the same time, like, I understand why people were doing it.
They wiped out the Gucci store right here.
I don't care. If they wiped out the Chanel store, they wiped out the Gucci store, and they're back.
I love it.
I care about I don't want to say anyone listening, I know a lot of my clients would be like, they're pretty anti that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, fuck that. You guys know. If you have any qualms with that, like, don't be my client anymore. I can't take it. Sorry. I'm okay with that. I can live with that. I can live with that. But the thing is just, like, yeah, so it was weird, though. It made the neighborhood different. So it was, like, a different vibe living in that neighborhood. Previously, it was, like, super kind of, like, specifically safe, like, kind of Disney World almost.
Okay.
And then, like, not ethnically diverse at all. But things have changed. People have moved. I think we've left a golden age of Chicago, and we're going into something different. I don't know what that is. But I'm not going to leave. I mean, I like that city. I chose it to be my home, and I'm going to stay there.
How long have you been there so far? I guess.
It's 5 years officially.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not probably going to, I like it. I mean, it has so much culture.
Yeah.
I'm about to go to an interactive Van Gogh exhibit. It's fucking awesome.
Really?
Yes.
Where's it at?
The Art Institute, the one with the lions.
Okay.
The biggest art, one of the biggest art museums in the country. That's what I'm saying. Don't give up on Chicago.
I'm not gonna I got friends in Chicago, so I need to fucking.
You should come.
I need to fucking go.
July.
Okay, yeah.
Summertime shy.
I can't fuck with the winter like that.
The winter you can fuck with, but it's an investment. So here's the thing: if I was someone who was just coming for a weekend, I wouldn't want to come if I had to buy $1,000 coat.
Yeah.
And some $300 boots just to have fun. But if I live there, that $1,000 coat is now an investment for the next like 4 or 5 winters.
Yeah.
That Canada Goose is not going to let you down.
What? Do you get the head to toe kind of coat? Does it go all the way down?
No, I get so the Canada Goose that I have right now, I have a city and I have an expedition, so they're different fits, but none of them goes all the way down. However, if I'm gonna go out, like when girls go out to like nightclubs, I do have like a fur coat that goes all the way down to like sorry, fur coat, my bad. I'm now vegan, but I'm not giving away my fur coats because I already have them.
Yeah.
Like, so, sorry.
You go Poshmark with it, though.
Why? I already have it. I'm not going to eat any more meat, kill any more animals. Just let me keep the one coat. My bad. Like, if that's too extreme.
Yeah.
Plus, it's so cold in Chicago. So, if I'm going to go out and I'm going to wear, like, a little dress, like, to go out, you can't wear, like...
the big-ass coat with it.
Not that looks like a weird coat, but a fur coat you can wear. And then you just take it off. And and now you're back. You're warm. So, people still go out, but...
Okay.
That's it. I feel like I'm talking a lot.
No, this is great. They're loving this podcast right now. Guaranteed. For sure.
Okay. I was going to say, I have no facts to back that up. I don't know anything about anything. I'm just here. I'm just vibing.
See, I got facts. I know they're fucking loving this shit.
I don't have facts. I don't have statistics. I just have my charisma.
Hell yeah.
I have my charisma and my goodwill.
What do you like to do for fun? What are you into?
Weed.
Ooh, boy.
I like to smoke weed. No, I'm just kidding. I like to read a lot of books. No, I'm not kidding about weed. I love weed.
Y'all just got weed. Fucking legal.
Yeah, it is. But I don't smoke. I can't smoke. It's legal, but it's also not socially acceptable. Like, I don't want to run around smelling like weed. You can't smoke weed with me. On the day, you'll never get anything done. But if I want to, like, veg out or something, I just smoke a bunch of weed, eat a bunch of Chinese food. That's it. Korean food, too, but I just really like a slutty, Americanized Chinese food. That's like, it's no one's culture. It's just all taste. Like, just all manufactured. Just like, let's boss this up to the to the Dorito level of like manufactured flavor.
The best part is like I've never really had chicken like the chicken that they have in like sesame chicken or like sweet and sour chicken in any other kind of place.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna start off by saying Korean fried chicken is the best fried chicken ever, and that's not even any sort of, that's not cap. That's just the facts of the situation. Nobody makes better fried chicken than Koreans.
How did the Koreans take the barbecue and the chicken from everybody?
Did they take it?
They got the fire shit though.
I feel like specifically South Korea has a really interesting way of like taking the world culture at large, ingesting it, like internalizing it, and then reinventing it and putting it back out in the world in a uniquely specific Korean way that makes it really cool. Like, this is why like K-pop is fucking cool. That's why Korean fried chicken is like, man, this is some fire. This is why even I'm really into like street style in South Korea at any given time over the past like 8 years, just because I mean the taste is different. Regionally, I'm into clothes, I'm into dressing, I'm into aesthetics, and then every region has their different tastes. A Chicago style is different than an Atlanta style.
Yeah, the
clothes I wear in Chicago I cannot wear. I mean, I'm walking around Atlanta and it doesn't make sense.
Okay.
And then even specific to Chicago neighborhoods, A Wicker Park style does not fit a River North style. That's just actually not a thing. So style is different everywhere. A Korean style is, let's look at the fashion industry and then let's reinterpret in a specifically Korean but like modern way that is fresh and unique. And I think they do that with almost all their industries. Film.
Yeah.
They have a bunch of really good K-drama right now.
Koreans, they fucking, yo.
They're dominating.
Yeah.
I mean, facts.
Yeah.
These are the facts of the situation.
What's funny, like...
Wait, not situation. Situation. Situation.
One of my favorite shows was like King of the Hill back in the day.
King of the Hill.
I love that shit. And that shit was mastered in Korea. Like, they'd do it over in the U.S., and then they'd send it to, like, Seoul to, like, finish it up, like, the production company. And, like, animation shit. That was all done in Korea.
Well, animation has been bigger in certain parts of the world than they have in the U.S. Like, different cultures have placed different emphasis on that. But then, in terms of production anywhere, that's just kind of a toss-up of, like, whose talent is where.
Yeah.
Because that happens with everything.
Yeah. It's like, we're going to go to where the shit is. Like,
yeah, it's like, oh, yeah, I have a guy in London that's doing this for me. I have a guy in Sweden who's doing this for me.
It's like Germany. Like, they're big. Like,
Germany's so huge. I used to...
A lot of people go to Germany for stuff.
Bleep this out. I used to date, and he has a thing in Sweden with some guy who was like fucking crazy. And I mean, actually, you don't have to bleep it out maybe because I think I've said enough that it's like.
I mean, yeah, people are like about, oh, that guy. Like, no, nobody there. Like,
unless my exes listen to it, he's like, what the fuck, bitch? Is this you?
You out me on Sweden?
But then also he's like, is this you? Is this you the whole time? No, I'm serious. But no, and it was like cold, and he went to Germany like to do something, and it was just like the best thing that ever happened to him in terms of meeting people who are like into. The Germans know how to engineer things. Okay,
they're good. Starts with the cars. Yeah.
Starts with the car. I mean, it started with a bunch of things before the cars.
Yeah.
The Germans are bad. Not anymore.
Hey, Germans listen to the podcast.
We love Angela Merkel.
Yeah. She's great.
We love BDSM.
And EDM.
And EDM. We love all of that. Brats. We're into
Cabbage? What the fuck? Y'all be got
I think
that
that's
cabbage?
a Russian thing.
Really?
I think it's an Eastern European thing. I don't think it's
okay.
actually
Oh, yeah, because Poland and shit, they fuck with sauerkraut.
I don't
like
think
cabbage
German
and shit, too.
fucks with cabbage.
Sauerkraut, though.
Hey, excuse me.
Sauerkraut, though.
Excuse me. Any Germans? Outside of... I don't
sauerkraut, though.
Germans, please chime in. If you're a Germanic listener, can you please tell us what is the warm to hot temperature on Germany's relationship to cabbage?
Yo, they be fucking with cabbage straight up, though. Like, I know that for a fact. But also, yeah, Eastern European, they're still fucking... Everybody... It's the cheapest fucking... It's such a cheap plant to grow.
No,
you know?
I watched this interview on some... I forget. She was some model from, like, Russia. Or maybe Belarus or Ukraine. And it was a Vice thing. She was smoking hot. And they just took over there. And, you know, she's rich now. She's out of there. And they're like, what's your favorite food? She's like, cabbage. So they're like, why? She's like, you can do so many things with it. Cabbage. You can boil cabbage. You can fry cabbage.
You really can.
You can do anything. It's such a... Also, cabbage is one of those things. It's wild. Because also cabbage is used for kimchi. So you can make it. It's one of those things you put in your refrigerator. That shit lasts a month.
I still have never had kimchi before.
That's wild. You live in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah, I know.
It's good for you. Fermented things are good for you. Have you had kombucha?
I've had kombucha.
All right. So it's like same deal. Like,
it's like I'm just, I had the drinkable kimchi.
The drinkable kimchi. It has way more sugar though. That's a thing.
Oh, okay.
I have had to stop. So I brew my own kombucha. So I drink an inordinate amount. And so it's like, it's so much sugar that I eat a really high sugar diet. I gotta stop. My doctor was like, you eat too much sugar. Like,
okay.
Because it's like a bunch of, I'll just eat like mad fruit, drink a bunch of kombucha.
That's how, what's his name died? Fucking Steve Jobs. Motherfucker was just eating peaches and shit. They're like, dog, you're gonna kill your pancreas, bro. He was like, I'm onto something. Y'all don't know what the fuck I'm.
He had a god vibe. Like, he was just like, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I also heard he stank really bad. He didn't wear deodorant. I don't mean to talk ill of the dead, but I heard he didn't wear deodorant. And no one said anything to him about it because he's Steve Jobs.
Of course.
So he didn't think that he was like stinky. And so sad.
That sucks, man.
If I'm stinky, please tell me. I don't give a fuck if I'm God himself. Please tell me. If I'm the president of the United States of America, tell me. If you are a real one, you're going to tell me if I fucking smell bad.
I feel like, not to get political, but if Trump smelled bad, nobody would say shit to him, you know?
Listen, Trump is literally a fucking fascist and technically a fucking terrorist. And no one's told him about himself. No, they're not going to say
They're not going to
anything.
say that he smells bad?
No, fuck no. You think that would be the straw that broke the camel's back? Just violate all the rules of the American Constitution. Maybe, like, have raped people, commit war crimes, put kids in cages. But you know what? We really got to get together and huddle up and tell him that he fucking stinks.
That's where it starts at, though. You know, if you could tell him, like, hey, maybe you should put on some deodorant, then you can work out your way up to, like, maybe we should not have the kids in the cages. It's a progression.
Anyone who does not call their friends out, you are literally creating a fascist. Start now. Start small. Tell them that their armpits stink.
Yeah.
And then maybe they won't try to fucking take over an American democracy. Don't put that seed of hope in them. That boldness that it takes to go out into the world being stinky. Cut them down. Let them know.
It's all about honesty.
Everything's all about honesty.
Yeah.
And it's all about just keeping people down a couple of pegs.
Yeah. We're in Atlanta right now. Where were you before this? Where are you going after this?
I was in Fort Wayne, Indiana, which so weird. Such a weird place. Can't believe I was there. Was there specifically because someone required me to be there. Very little gives me hometown vibes. After this, I'm just going to go home for a week.
Okay.
Relax. It's been 5 days. It will be 5 days after I hang out after my next 2 days.
Okay.
So it'll be like, I want to go home. I want to get my hair done.
Yeah.
I want to check on my plants and my kombucha. Time to take that stuff out.
Damn.
Time to put that into the second fermentation process.
See, I feel like some people, they can't go on vacation because they have pets. It's like you can't go on vacation too long because you have kombucha. It's kind of the same thing.
Well, it is almost the same thing, but I can actually like plan for that because you can leave kombucha for 7 days at a time if you just start it. Like I usually take mine out for first fermentation. I take it out at the 9-day mark. So that's 9 hot days. You can't leave your dog at home for 9 days. You're a fucking monster.
Yeah, no.
If you leave your dog at home alone for 9 days, I'm calling the cops.
Yeah.
I don't even fuck with the police. But if you leave your dog at home for 9 days, you deserve it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Fuck that. I stand by the fuck I just said.
We calling the cops.
Calling the police. I don't care. I will leave an anonymous tip. This person has left their fucking sheets of ewus. What are those fucking dogs? Those little fucking furry dogs. This person left their 2 cocker spaniels at home. They're cannibalizing each other. It's been 9 days.
God.
Arrest. Arrest.
Fuck yeah.
Dogs don't cannibalize each other though. Cats do.
Dogs don't.
Dogs wait until they starve. Cats, like after like a few days of you not moving, they just go right to the face.
Damn.
It's sad. If you die in your home, your cat will eat you within a matter of a couple of days. A dog will wait until he's starving. That's
okay,
so
and then eat you.
Yeah, just for survival.
Okay.
Like Donner Party.
Yeah.
Like a canine version of the Donner Party.
Man.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I went there. I'm sorry, descendants of the Donner Party survivors.
So I always like to go back, like start kind of at the beginning of like your sex work journey. Whenever I fucking do this podcast, can you remember your first like exposure to sex work at all? Can you remember that?
There was a lady who used to beep this out. Boop.
Yeah.
Self-censor. She was when I met her she was fucking my uncle, but then somehow she took an interest in my brother and I, and started hanging out with us, and like she had a rich husband or something, so she started taking care of us. Then she started fucking my dad, which is weird, so that's why we started calling her whatever.
Okay.
Because she was like, fuck my uncle, and then my dad, so very weird gray area.
Yeah.
But she was rich. Her husband was away for long periods at a time, so she kind of like took us kids as like a project, like poor kids. Like, let's sponsor some fucking kids.
Yeah.
So she did that, but then her husband found out that she kept cheating on him, and then he divorced her, and we were still with her, and she needed money to pay for everything. Then we were living in Pensacola, Florida, and she was like talking about working for an escort service, and I was in 4th grade, but I didn't know what that was. And I think I was too old, like mentally, like I was too adult and trying to even figure out what it was. So I was like, I mentioned it to her, and I didn't know what I was talking about. And then she like got down on the ground and consoled me, and she was like, "No, like it's not like that. I'm just gonna hang out, blah blah blah, whatever." I don't know what I thought. I still don't remember, and I don't know what she thought I thought. Yeah. But I remember that, and I remember she had fake boobs. And that's all. That was if you want to talk about exposure, not my experience, not my first experience, but my first exposure to like what is sex work. It was either that or the movie like Players Club starring Lisa Ray.
Okay, I've not seen that.
Watch that.
Okay.
Diamond from Players Club You live in Atlanta? Are you from here?
I'm from like
Lisa
30
Ray?
minutes south.
Lisa Ray. No, hold on.
Okay.
Lisa
Pull
Ray.
it. We gotta pull it up. We gotta pull it up on your phone.
Oh my God. You've
I
never
know.
seen the Players Club?
I grew up in the suburbs, though.
Wait, may I ask what your ethnic background is?
I'm black.
And I don't ever like to put black people in a box like this, but I really thought every black person had at least seen the movie Players Club playing on a movie in the background of someone else's house. I mean, that's
I didn't know Jimi Hendrix was black until 8th grade.
Okay, so you're wilding for that. Wow.
I know, right?
Here's the fight scene. No, here's a scene. She literally married a prince of an island. I think they got divorced. She was a princess of a Caribbean island for a while, until recently. But she's smoking hot. She played this stripper named Diamond in the movie Players Club. It's based in Atlanta. Jamie Foxx is in it. Bernie Mac is in it.
Okay, I heard of Jamie Foxx. I heard of Bernie Mac.
He was DJing the movie.
2 for 3.
Yeah, and so then it's like, basically the thing is, she's just like a schoolgirl who's working in the shoe store, and she's tired of being broke. She wants to pay her way through school, so she starts working the strip club, and it's like too much for her. She has no idea how the life is.
Okay.
So here's like this older stripper telling her about like her life, and this is like a scene. But it's like this is how her name was Diamond in the movie, and this is how I think this was it came out like 95 or 96. I think this was a lot of people's first like, this is sex work. But it was either what I just told you about or this. Here's a scene.
Your cousin Holly been telling you about me. This ain't the same thing. I worked with these people before, and you my protege. So I know you'll blow their fucking minds. So what's up, rookie? You trying to get money or what? Yeah. But what you waiting on? The Players Club? I mean, don't get me wrong, it's cool. Getting those trick ass niggas to pay you $10.
Terrible. So basically, what this is like the bad stripper. There's like good stripper. I'm innocent Lisa Ray, and I'm just going here to pay for school, and I'm working. And then there's Ronnie, bad stripper. I'm trying to get you go out of the club, go to bachelor parties where you don't even know these guys. They might hurt you, but you don't know. I'm convincing you. And also, I'm kind of like a lesbian, which nothing wrong with lesbians, but how gay people are portrayed in the media negatively, they were like making her like, I'm the bad lesbian, and I'm gonna mess you up. And so it was like stupid. But this was my first time knowing what a strip club was, or like what lesbians were. Even. Okay. So it was like maybe that's my first exposure. I don't know. Yeah. Watch the Players Club, everyone. Lisa Ray is beautiful. She's still smoking hot. Follow her on Instagram.
I will say this. I still don't know who that is.
This is Lisa Ray. Let's do it because you really need it. I can't believe you have no ref. This is just wild. Sex work and you gotta watch this. I believe. Okay. Probably not because there's probably so many. This is a very specifically black movie as well. Like you're a black person. This is Lisa Ray now. Old. This movie came out 30 years ago.
Okay, she looks kind of familiar.
Really, Lisa Ray, Players Club? Wow.
I feel like people listening to this right now are losing a lot of respect for me.
No, I don't think anyone's... Listen, don't lose respect for someone because of what they don't know. Only lose respect for someone because of what they are unwilling to learn.
Ooh, with that hitter. Oh, yeah.
Boo, 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 boo. Since you won't put the Jamaican horns in there for put the Jamaican horns by my name.
I'll see what I can do.
Hit me with that, please. Just for me. Just say I requested it. You're trying to make this a super serious podcast. I am not serious in life.
No, this is fun as fuck.
I'm sorry. I can't live like that.
How'd you get into sex work? How'd you start? What's the origin story?
Well, I think I always was kind of doing it a little bit because I always knew there was sex is a commodity. And I think I've always known that. I think anyone who pretends that they don't know that is acting like they didn't grow up in America. Yeah. You know what I mean? Everyone knows. Be sexy, get stuff. You know what I mean? Get stuff, get sexy girls. Yeah. Everyone knows there are two of those things. Like it happens like at a young age. But even though it's not like quid pro quo direct. My first thing was my boyfriend cheated on me. So I cheated back. Okay. With a guy who had been hitting me up for a while who was he just got drafted to the NFL.
Oh shit, nice.
And so I hung out with him. He flew me out and stuff, and it was my first time being on a flight and doing anything cool and fun, and then seeing how everybody else was hanging out around him, all the wags, I guess. Yeah. I was like, man, this was lit. I want to do this. This has been really nice. This is so much fun. This is much better than working doubles at the. So then I was like, well, I need to I need money and stuff, like, to be able to do this. So I was like, okay, I'll do it. And so then I just literally just looked for an escort agency in the next biggest city and started working for them instantly.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, I just need like some clothes, a really nice car, and like some bags, and that's what I was trying to do.
How is it like working for an agency? How'd you like that?
Sucks. Don't ever do it. No one ever do it. It was really bad. It's inherently exploitative. I've never lasted more than 2 weeks with an agency. Very terrible. I don't think any of the young girls that are coming up doing this now, I mean, this was in 2013. I don't think anyone now does that anymore. I think they know. But that's because we now have enough. The thing used to be, knowledge used to be very closely held. Yeah. Because it was like the industry, because of technology, the industry was not like independent as it was. I think people were like working very closely with a person who like managed them, or like they worked for an agency, or they had like Pimp. You know what I mean? Which I'm not judging anyone. But that's just, for me, not something that made sense to me. I don't understand why anyone else's money would be going through, why my money would be going through anyone else's hands for my talent. Yeah. So I just never got that. That was never my deal. That was never my jam. That's some people's jam. But I was just like, don't do it. They're not, if I'm the product, unless I'm so inundated with inquiries that I just can't even I'm swimming in them. There's no need for me to have someone to manage me, because I know what product I'm presenting, and it's myself. Yeah. I don't need anyone interfering in that.
100%.
I like to connect.
Do you feel like there was a waiver period? I'll ask everybody. Do you feel like there was a waiver period or like a learning curve at the beginning when you like weren't good at escorting?
No.
Always good?
Yes. But it depends on what you mean by escorting, because there are different things that people are looking for. Like if you're talking about them meeting a person, connecting with them, developing an instant rapport, being able to be, and in that small amount of time period, being able to like make a lasting impression and become an enthusiastic, willing, and enjoyable sex partner. No, I've never been bad at that. I've always been good at that. If you want to talk about the administrative aspect of stuff, like
it's so much
how Mia does all her stuff, yeah, I'm still not good at that. I'm still like, I'm surviving, but I know that there's someone out here, I mean, who could potentially be better at marketing than me, or who could potentially be better at organizing than me, getting back to people in a timely fashion than me. There are Nick Teslas and Thomas Edisons. I'm a Nick Tesla. Okay. And that could be for better or for worse.
That makes sense. Yeah. Do you feel like people, like, did anybody help you along the way starting out? Or are you like completely by yourself doing this?
Totally by myself, because the thing is now the girls have such a huge resource in Reddit communities. In online communities. That is the truth. When I was coming up, people used to say, the game is sold, not told. And people used to hold that shit to their fucking chest.
I interviewed somebody.
It's true.
She fucking said that same thing.
The industry has changed. It's true. People used to have to work really hard. You used to have to pull it out of people, beg, and do all this stuff to try to find anything. And people wouldn't tell you. You either worked very closely under someone who managed you and you just stole all of their shit, everything that they did, and just jumped ship for yourself and worked independently, and they would be super mad about it. Yeah. Or you just learned through trial and error, which is like, I guess how I learned how to do things was like a combination of both. Okay. There are girls now who, it's kind of crazy that they even have this amazing resource. But it's like, and then the community is amazing too, because I've seen people try to fucking monetize this shit in the past, and the Reddit community is amazing because people agree, we don't monetize this shit. This is for the safety of our entire community. This is for the like betterment of our entire community. Like, people need to know this. I'm not gonna make you pay $10.99 for a book about this shit. Like, we're sharing this advice freely online. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, now if you were a sex worker you're turning like 21 and you're deciding to get into sex work like I was, you have an entire playbook. If I would have had Reddit when I was 21, I fully believe I would be a millionaire, because you can just literally work your small job that you're working, save up the money to launch yourself as correctly as supposed to, and then you can not miss a beat from there. I mean, our little sisters have benefited from what we have sacrificed, but no one taught me shit. I had to make mistakes.
That's why I always think about if you were to go back to like before the internet, or like before.
I couldn't make it before the internet completely.
The people that worked fucking 30 years ago,
I couldn't make it. I don't know, because I listened to older girls tell me about it, older women or older people, and they're like, people didn't even know what they were getting. They would just be like, hey, can I have a blonde a 5'10" blonde or like a blonde, like a taller blonde. You didn't know. You truly didn't know.
Yeah.
Even for the consumer, you didn't know what you were getting, and the girls didn't know what they were getting. But then also the girls didn't. The internet truly, when people, smartphones really are what did it.
Yeah.
When everyone had a smartphone in their hand, it made it feasible to market yourself and brand yourself and do your back page. Really is what happened. Like, oh, I can just for $5 or $1 or $0 just post pictures of myself, and people say, hey, I will come give you money for sex.
Yeah.
That completely was the beginning of the end of the age of the pimp. In 20 years, how will people still have a pimp? Who even has a pimp today? And if you do have a pimp, get out of there, girl.
So I guess people working outside.
Outside, you don't even need a pimp anymore. You don't. You can still fully work outside alone if you want to. I know plenty of girls who do. All you have to do is walk, post ads. You can even kind of briefly screen people if you just walk.
Yeah.
Like, you don't. The internet
changed everything.
It's information. When you give people more information, when people are more informed, they can do more for themselves.
Definitely.
Right? So it's the same. It's not the. And sex work is the forefront of the internet. Anytime technology is invented, it is used immediately to just try to get people to fuck using the internet. That's actually how all technology is. Sex work has been at the forefront of, like, do you think that peer-to-peer cash transactions, that started with sex work?
Yeah.
Square, Cash App.
Yeah.
That shit was sex worker, like, dominated. Also, have you ever been viewing porn?
VHS.
Scrolled across a video, and then they just start moving a little bit so you get a brief glimpse of what it is before you click on it. Sex work. And that technology exists for everything now.
Yeah.
All of that.
Damn.
VHS.
Yeah, VHS would not have been a thing without porn.
The internet wouldn't be a thing without porn.
Yeah.
The first things people were using were for, like, try to, like, send titties.
Yeah.
It was like, say hello, and the next thing, like, nudes.
I wonder what the next thing's going to be.
It's going to be something, and then they're going to use it for sex. The next thing's going to be robots, and they're going to use it to have sex. And people are already doing that.
Yeah, people are already fucking robots.
My ex-boyfriend sent me he hasn't had sex in a while, and he sent me something of some VR thing his friend gave him.
Have you ever seen VR porn? Have you ever seen it?
No, but he was describing it to me, and it sounds ridiculous.
Wow.
It sounds crazy. He looked shook. When I looked him in, and I know this man. I love this man. I've slept in this man's arms. He looked at me in my eye, and I was scared for him. Because what the fuck? What is that?
Have you seen Minority Report? Have you seen that fucking Tom Cruise movie?
Yeah, it came out when I was like 7th grade.
Yeah, it's just like 2001.
We're literally right there.
Yeah. God.
We're like 50 years. I, for one, am not a fan of our robot overlords.
Shit, yeah. What's your experience been as a minority in sex work?
Well, oh my God, do you want to talk about it? The world is racist, and sex work is racist. There are two parts, the clients and the other sex workers that you work with. Have anything to say about that? Sound like you want to say something. Go ahead. Heard your mouth open a little bit.
No, I agree. I agree with you. I mean, I see lots of, like, when I first started doing this whole thing, you know, is like this whole no AA is a huge thing. I don't know how
it's
is
racist.
In Chicago.
Listen, it is. Listen, anyone who says that they want to blanket anyone based on race, I've seen no AA and I've seen no Indian. I will give one excuse to any of these rules, right?
Okay.
There was a time when, I mean, I can't even avoid it now because people my age we're not young anymore. People are starting to make money and be able to have disposable income. But when I was younger, I never put no AA in my thing, but I was very, like, leery of seeing people who could possibly be in my immediate social circle.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So that's the thing. Like, it has nothing to do with your race. It really has to do with, do I know you?
That makes.
How many degrees of separation are we away?
Yeah.
But some people will literally just do no AA. And then some black girls too. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like,
oh my
it's
God.
not a white thing. It's like, I'll see all races.
It's because racism is not limited to white people. We have all been fucked up subconsciously by racism. Every person on the face of the planet Earth. That is just the facts of the situation. My thing is that if you have had any bad clients from a certain demographic, you need to do better screening. That's it. I don't have bad clients. I do not. I may have had some mildly annoying clients, but they're few and far between. I don't have bad clients because I don't do bad screening. Everyone does not have that. I understand that I have an inordinate amount of privilege and that I am able to choose. But if you are in a position where you've been able to choose and you just are attributing that to the clients, I think you should look in the mirror and, like, maybe you aren't choosing clients that work best for you. And maybe that has nothing to do with race, you know?
It's funny, I interviewed this lady, it's only on Patreon, but she said that the only reason that, because she was like, I don't see black dudes, but she's like, the only reason is because of the dick thing. And I'm like, what?
Racist. And you know what? Everyone asked me about black dudes' dicks. And I fucked a lot of people, okay? I'm going to say it. I fucked all sorts of dudes from all sorts of races. I'm an ethically ambiguous person. I have a broad racial appeal. I fucked a bunch of different people. Big dicks are given out randomly throughout the population. There is no race that has more big dicks. If you think that, I'm so sorry, but you need to take a look in the mirror. That is a subconscious form of internalized, like, fucking racist.
Well, also porn doesn't help with that shit, because every black dick you see in porn is a goddamn forearm.
But think about it. Porn is very irresponsible.
Yeah.
Porn is responsible for the proliferation of a bunch of stereotypes that are inherently dangerous.
Yeah.
Porn has kind of single-handedly, like, fucked up sex for an entire generation. There's so many people who want to fuck you doing things that are like, this is not good, dude. It just maybe looks good on camera, but we're not recording. You know what I mean? Like, that happens.
And it might be a thing that happens and it's like immediately as soon as that scene's cut, you're like, oh God, let's fucking get out of this position.
No, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, a lot of things people do are things that are like, this looks great on camera, but it's not feasible in real life.
Yeah.
But people, because they're being trained in sex via porn, they see that and they think this is how it is. And that's why people think all black dudes have big dicks. Here's the thing. Most dudes don't have big dicks. Most dudes have average dicks. Big dicks are given out at random to like 15% of the population. We're just as surprised as you whenever we find out someone has a big dick. And they're always, honestly, given to people who are like awkward and weird. So and then that's okay. But the thing is, it's not black guys. Please stop being obsessed with the black dick. No one's obsessed with black dick except for like people who aren't black.
I know, right?
It's so weird.
It really is a thing.
It's very weird. And then the people who think it's real. What? I just don't know. It's racist.
I even think it's funny when it's like BBC and it's like a dildo, and I'm like, that's not even,
People like the
color of the dildo.
No, I found that people who are not a certain color do like the color contrast.
Okay. I get that.
So I understand the color contrast, but size, come on. Randomly generated by some simulation. Anyone can have a big dick.
Yeah.
Anyone can have a big dick, anyone can have a small dick. Doesn't matter the race. Anyone can be a bad client, anyone can be a good client. Doesn't matter the race. You need to find that out for yourself. Don't stereotype.
What are some misconceptions that you found in sex work? Like, there's a lot of stereotypes that like the fucking media portrays sex workers in a certain way.
I got you.
What are some misconceptions that you found in sex work through doing sex work? Here we
go. One, this is not a sad story. We did not all like get backed into the corner and we're doing this by force. It's nothing you should apologize for or feel like sad about. This is literally the best paying job I've ever had. I'm fucking rolling in it. And I'm doing well. I'm enjoying my life. I have so much flexibility in my schedule. This is the most power that I've ever had. Like, and I am someone who has a degree. I'm someone who is a veteran. I'm someone who's done I've been a professional model. This is a good job. Fuck out of here. I've never had this much control over my life. Please stop painting this as like a sob story. Like, no, my dad did not leave me. My dad did not leave me. I was not molested. I do not have a drug problem. I don't even like drugs. I don't even like anyone who's like you can be high on weed a little bit, but not that high, man.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I'm not that person. I wish people would stop thinking it was a sob story. I wish people would stop thinking we're like seedy and like bad and like criminals. I wish people would stop thinking that we'll never get like find love or like, we like all have like partners.
Yeah.
And even if we don't, it's not that we don't want to. It's that we're choosing not to. It's just like, stop thinking that we're anyone except people with jobs. Like literally. Yeah. I am just a person with a job that you just think it's interesting. That's it. It's just a job.
Yeah.
Don't call it sex work. Let's just call it work. No one says you are a barista worker. No, you're just a barista.
Yeah.
And I'm just a worker.
I think it is interesting too to where, like, I've had this conversation a little bit before, but it is kind of one of those jobs to where you have to portray this happy thing in order for people to like accept it as a job almost.
Yeah, but it's crazy. Have you ever worked in fucking retail?
I know, right?
You can't be a sad retail worker. You can't be a sad fast food worker. You know how long I've been a sad fast food worker and retail worker? No one lets you work in retail. Customer service. You're calling about your phone. Hello, I'm just having a really bad day.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to take your call right now. Nobody wants a fucking sad worker in anything. That's a part of working in a service industry. If you're providing a service to me, I don't want to hear about your problems. I don't want to hear about how sad you are. I just want you to provide the service and not make me feel bad. That goes to every job. I don't know why people trying to make this weird thing like it needs to be different for sex work. It doesn't. It's a fucking job. And it's okay if I act happy even though I'm not. Because you don't go to jobs acting sad. No one fucking plays that.
Yeah, because then it's like, God.
I showed up for work at the plant today and I'm crying. No one does that. And no one would make it weird if you did that. Like,
yeah,
you're supposed to go to work. Like, put on a happy face anytime you go to work. No one lets you go to work and cry unless you're literally like Drake.
That is true.
That's just the thing about work. And we live in a capitalist society. All work is work. Sex work is work. We're all supposed to be like not sad about working, even though we all should be.
Yeah, and I think too, it's also this whole like you're sacrificing your body for something where it's
We're
like
all
Andy,
sacrificing
everybody's
our
doing
body.
the same thing. Like,
Aren't you sacrificing? Except even you're sacrificing your body worse than me, boo, because you're standing on your feet all day.
And you're making way fucking less money.
I'm working like 25 hours a month. If you want to ask me from a logical standpoint, if we're talking about financial expediency, I don't like work for working's sake. That's stupid.
Who likes that?
I don't want to work for no reason. If I find something that I'm passionate about, I will pursue that passion, but it won't be work to me. If it's work and I'm working, I don't want to do it. I want to do it as little as I can. I want to find out how to do it as infrequently as I can for as much money as I can until I don't have to do it anymore. What's the point of working hard?
I feel like it's an American thing too, to where Europe, the way they view work in Europe is so different. Like to where it's like we do this thing, we should be enjoying our lives. To whereas America, we're like we're workaholics.
Well, that's because America is a hyper-capitalist state.
Yeah,
it's a hyper-capitalist state, and we need to prove our allegiance to late stage capitalism by saying, look, I started an LLC with my fucking stimulus money. Yeah. And I worked 80 hours a week since I was out of high school. Working 80 hours a week is not flex, man. It's, to me, if you gotta do it, do that shit. But if you're trying to flex on me, I'm not even working 8 hours a week. You are not going to make me feel bad about that.
Yeah.
Stop playing. Like,
it's
stop.
like you're doing the thing that's...
I'm very frequently, I'm not working 8 hours a week. And I don't want to. I don't need all that. I don't like to work like... I'm not a capitalist.
Capitalism just traps you in this thing where it's like we have to fucking work. It's
I'm not a capitalist. I am a socialist operating under a capitalist system. I'm not gonna, when everyone puts down the guns, I'll put down the guns. But until then, I'm gonna continue to make money just to make sure I'm not destitute.
Yeah, I talk to my mom about this a lot, where it's like I'm just selling this labor for so fucking cheap, and it's like this is just like I have to do this forever. Like
until you die.
Yeah.
Until it's time to retire, and then what can you do? No, I'm trying to what's that Jay-Z thing? I don't want to survive. I'm trying to live until the limit and love it a lot. Like, that's period. Life is so short. I have friends who are dead. I have young friends who are dead. Like, at a young age. Like, my ex-fiance, he's older than me. He didn't live to see my age. I turned in a month. One of our best friends, he's even younger than me. And he died in 2014. You can't just, like, say, oh, I'm not going to live my life. I'm going to do the right thing and then, like, decide to be, like, cool about it.
You never know when your number's up.
No. I just remember when my ex got braces before he passed away. Like, 3 months. And I was thinking, like, wow, you waited all this time to get those braces and then you never even got to enjoy them. It's crazy. Yeah. It cost him a lot of money. And it's very sad. I wish you would have gotten to enjoy those braces. But I think I've just taken it upon myself to say, like, I'm not going to wait and to enjoy my braces. Like, who wants to wait their whole life to enjoy themselves? Do it now.
Yeah.
Obviously, plan for the future. Don't be dumb. Like, put money into your, like, retirement.
Yeah.
And, like, save. But, like, also don't, like, limit yourself in terms of, like, don't, like, don't live in this cage.
Yeah.
Don't live in this cage of fear because you literally might die. And that's extreme, but like, oh, you'll feel
I mean, especially during this fucking time we're in a goddamn pandemic. You're like...
So many people have died. Imagine dying and then your thoughts are passing through your mind and you're like, oh man, I never went to Six Flags.
Yeah. I never rode acrophobia.
I never went to Six Flags, man. So it's just kind of like, don't do that. That would be like, I would hate that.
Don't die wondering, yeah.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Seems stupid.
Man.
Seems avoidable.
Yeah.
In many counts. That's the only thing I'm saying.
Yeah. So you said you started in 2013, right?
Yeah, that sounds so long ago. Why would you say the number like that?
No, I was...
That.
So here's what...
Ew. That was gross.
Here's where I'm going with this, right? So fucking Sesta Fasta, like
Ruined
2018.
it for me, man.
How was that for you?
Oh my god, it was the worst. This is what happened. I was fucking crushing it. I was killing it. I was making so much fucking money. Then out of nowhere, I got into a personal situation that cost me a lot of money in January of 2018. Then March of 2018, beginning of March, I believe, or maybe end of February, possibly end of February, I believe. Okay. I was in Pittsburgh. I had an assistant at the time who was fleecing me. If you're listening to this, I still think you charged me too much money and didn't do anything. I'll never get an assistant again. And that's just that on that. Can't do anything that I can't do. Stupid.
Yeah.
Won't put as much attention to my thing as me. You know, but the thing is, she called me. I was in Pittsburgh, and then she called me, and then she was like, I can't log into your, like, Eros account, which was the number one platform at the time. Yeah. Still is kind of the number one platform, but it's been years, and Tris is like, they've come around to the point that I can travel back to cities that I couldn't go to for years again, because I wasn't going to make any money there. But they just were like, we've indefinitely banned your account. Eros was like, we've indefinitely banned your account, and they wouldn't tell me why.
Fuck.
They give you no reason, and they've done it to a lot of people, and so many people I've seen them complain about this, and there's nothing you can do. It has no rhyme or reason. For me, I just think that they were just arbitrarily banning people because they got scared of Sesta Fasta. And I've I've lived in a lot of states since I've met them. I've also at times worked for agencies when I was very young.
Okay.
And I, at the time, was traveling exclusively. I never used to work. Sesta Fasta forced me to work in Chicago. I never used to work in the city that I lived in.
Oh, shit, okay.
Yeah, so it's like, after that, I could not tour. And I just remember I broke down, and this is the first time I've ever been in Pittsburgh, only time I've been in Pittsburgh. And I remember I broke down in a bar, I just like cried, and someone was like, what's wrong with you? And then I was like, I think I'm about to lose a lot of money. And then the bartender was like, well, you know you can take a 6-pack to go. You can take 6-packs to go in Pittsburgh. Like, you can take 6-packs to go in Pittsburgh. So I did. I took a 6-pack to go. I went to my hotel room. And then there was a comedy show downstairs. I went downstairs, heckled a comedy guy.
Oh, God.
Didn't know what heckling was at the time. Didn't know I was doing it. I was just drunk. And then he was very nice enough to walk me back to my hotel room.
Okay.
Yeah, and drop me off. And then I learned what heckling is and that you should never do it.
You should never do it.
Never do it. Didn't know. I was just wasted. Yeah. I was sad. I was real sad. And I was like, this is probably going to cost me probably like $100. Oh, my God. And I was fucking depressed. And I was like 20. I was not my age now.
Yeah.
So I was like, this was my plan, man. What the fuck?
Fuck.
It was really bad. And then it took a while to recover, honestly. Like, I had regular and stuff, but not really, because I was never really doing it professionally. I always would work for a few months, get a little money, stop. Get a boyfriend, stop. Act like a normal person until we like broke up. Then start again. And you know, I was always like,
in and out.
Yeah, double Dutch. Like, not taking... So it was like, that did not fare well when an industry fell apart and had to reconfigure itself.
Oh, shit.
But, I mean, the beginning of the pandemic, though, this is the blessing of actually having a stable presence, though. Because I was fired after the pandemic, because people were like, we know you.
Oh, nice.
You know, like, all that.
Yeah.
But Sesta Fasta almost fucked me up. That's the only reason I joined Reddit.
Oh, shit, okay.
I was just trying to figure out what other people were doing.
Okay.
Because it was so crazy. No one was. I'm like, if you didn't have Eros, I was like, what the fuck do I do?
Yeah.
I was like, this is gonna make me enough money. All these other like Tris didn't exist.
Yeah, Tris wasn't around. I don't think Private Delights wasn't around.
They're both created by providers for providers. Neither one, and those are like two of my big ones now.
Yeah.
And then P411 had shut down.
Oh shit. Okay.
They weren't accepting, so I was like, so I can't advertise anywhere but Slixa. This shit doesn't work. This only works in 3 cities.
Slixa, yeah, it's kind of
trash.
It's kind of limited.
Slixa, it's very limited. I'm so sorry, you guys. They were so slick and they were supposed to be so high profile, but they just weren't. Like it didn't. It only works for me in like 2 places, and I just stopped with the money.
And the thing too is like if you're searching for somebody, you're going to go to multiple websites. So it's like,
is that how it works?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go to different websites.
I didn't know. I don't know how you guys find. I don't even know how I don't know how the client approach is.
I mean, when I first started, so all I did, I Googled, I was in Raleigh, I was like, Raleigh escorts.
And never showed up.
No.
When did you start doing this?
2018.
Okay, so that was way too late.
Yeah.
That was like, it was big.
I first started like Memorial Day 2018.
It was big, like so when I started with them was in 2014, and I think it was done by the time I moved to Chicago, so that was like 16. But he was inherently exploitative. He was just an agency owner. Like, here's the thing with agency owners. All the bullshit that comes. Either it's like their wife does it and then they reroute the calls, or they need to like spread the butter for everyone to keep everyone working. So you're popping and everyone's calling for you, but they'll just be like, oh, she's not available, but we do have so-and-so available.
Oh, okay.
And they send it to another person. Like, that shit is not fair.
Yeah.
Like, let me get my fucking money. Like, and then they take money for nothing. Like, they'll take a certain percentage of it, even though it's someone you've seen 10 times.
Yeah.
So it's like you haven't done any work in 9 visits.
Yeah.
This person's only coming back to see me. It's like dumb.
Yeah.
So I just instantly, as soon as I started working for them, I was just like, where's my number? They tell you don't to do that. I'm like, monitoring this. This shit was in 2013. The technology is not there.
Yeah.
Here's my number. Here's my number. Here's my number.
Real talk. How long do you see yourself in sex work?
Forever, because everyone's in it for any capacity. Like, even when I stopped, I'm telling you, even before I was in sex work, I was in sex work. Like, it's small things. This is what I'm saying. 95% of people who can use sex as a commodity, be they men or women, when they have to, they will. This is what happens anywhere. You can look at it. Even in an extremely sad case, like, think about like Auschwitz. There is a quote from there. They're like, the only people who were alive were certain categories of people, and there were people with skills. And one of the groups of people were like the beautiful homosexuals. And how were they alive?
Oh shit!
Somebody was fucking, and that's because they're like, I mean, it is a commodity. Sex capital is capital. So at the same time, if you have sex capital, there's no case of someone having capital and not using it. Everyone will.
It's like, why would you not use it?
I mean, everyone will if they need. Some people they're against it, but they will use it if they need to. Even Forrest Gump's mom fucked that guy so he could get into a good school.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it works. So I like.
Your mama cares about your education.
I mean, that's true. Facts. Church. So it's just kind of like, that's just how I feel. Like, so if you're looking at it from that perspective forever, how long will I be like a commercial sex worker? I don't know. Probably not over the next few years, because I probably should have a baby in like 4 years.
Okay.
Like, I probably should try.
Do you just is the timer a real thing? Is the timer legit?
It's not. The timer is not me wanting to have a baby. The timer is you start getting ads like, would you like to freeze your eggs?
Oh, okay.
Like, I mean, the female body wears out. I mean, and this is probably super early, and I don't even care if I don't. I mean, I would rather try. I feel like my genes should be carried on to the next generation.
I feel that. I feel that.
I feel like the world wants it.
The world.
I'm just kidding.
More than the world needs it, you know.
We need people like me. Sorry, I'm just kidding. Stop. Please don't put that in. Oh my god. But no, like, yeah, it's like, I mean, one day maybe, like, I would like to experience. I'm all about new experiences. I'm all about doing the unknown. And what's unknown to me now is motherhood. Do I want a kid this year? Fuck no. Next year? No things. Then the year after that? Yeah, not at all.
And then you're like, and then 4 years? I mean, who knows?
After that, though.
7 years?
After 35.
Prime, you know?
35.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's try, even though you shouldn't, but modern technology.
My fucking mom.
Giving it 35 or 37.
I think my mom was like 37 when she had me, and then
That's
she was
old.
41 when she had my sister.
I mean, I don't want to be too old.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to, like, die in childbirth.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't want to be like, now. No, I would like to, like you said, I need to buy a building. And
I feel, I'd like to have a building having it, before.
I'm doing that shit. I don't like work. I need passive income. I'm serious. I won't. Imagine being 65 and having to clock in for some other piece of shit every day that tells you what to do. I can't do it. I would literally snap.
Yeah.
I just need I'm not meant to live my life like that. I know who I am. Self-awareness. Number one thing in life.
It's great. You need it.
Everyone needs
Everybody fucking needs it.
The world would be better if everyone were self-aware.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know I'm not meant to be in the workforce. I'm supposed to be collecting passive income. I'll work to get it in my young age, and then I'll just die like Steve Jobs, eating all those fruits.
Eating all them fruits.
Eating all those fruits for the rest of my life.
Goddamn.
That's all.
What advice would you give somebody wanting to get into sex work? Do you have any advice for that person?
Don't go into it from a place of desperation. Try to, like, work whatever job you have for as long as you can while you do your research and you save your coins up to introduce yourself to the market correctly. Like, it's worth it. Work 3 months at Kroger. Save up money so you can get a really good photo shoot and make a good website and take time and ask people questions and find your top 3 favorite sex workers online who are just, like, as expensive and as nice as you want them to be, and copy them. Don't, like, fucking copy their, like, copyright.
Yeah.
Like, don't steal their ad copy, like, word for word. But, like, take influence from them and, like, kind of, like, present yourself in that way. Like, whatever fantasy you have in your head, there's someone out there living it. Find the top 3 people that you feel like are living that, like, and kind of, like, try to, like, be your own version of that in the beginning, and just make sure you just try to don't go into it from a place of desperation, because you will get taken advantage of. And also, create boundaries and stick to the fucking boundaries. Create your hard list of, like, no's, and don't budge at all, ever. For anybody. Just for real. Like, don't. I don't care who it is. Don't budge. Don't. And then take and I hope everyone's taking notes. This is 3 bullet points. Take every measure of internet fucking privacy that you can possibly take. Cybersecurity is important. Don't let anyone know your name. Don't let anyone see your face. I don't care what anyone says. Don't let anyone know where you live. Don't create an Amazon wish list, because people already know that it's going to go back.
You can't create an Amazon wish list with a Proton Mail?
People
address?
can find your shipping address from that. It's best to have, like, just
P.O. box.
Get a P.O. box, girl. Ship it up. If you're a scammer, ship it up the street. Go up there later. Sneak in there.
Yeah.
Steal it. I'm just kidding. I'm not advocating for that.
We doing B&Es to get this
That's
lingerie.
not a B&E if you go into the lobby of a building. Sometimes
yeah.
I had a package. Listen, I had a package that got incorrectly delivered to another building one time, and I had to do that. But it was, like, my package. But they sent it to the wrong address because I accidentally put
the wrong address.
I flipped 2 numbers around in my address.
Oh, okay.
So it was, like, 2 blocks away.
Oh, shit.
And I had to, like, be like the Pink Panther.
Damn.
And get it. But it was not a B&E. We do not commit B&Es.
No B&E.
Also, here's the thing. If you're in America and you're a sex worker, an escort, you're already technically committing one small crime. In terms of risk management, the best way for you to be successful is don't commit any other crimes. Stay on the straight and narrow. Don't do drugs. Pay your taxes. And also, don't tell anybody about your money. Don't show it off at all. At all. People will know. People will find out. Other things, don't take pictures in hotels and put them on social media. People know what you're doing. When you're traveling, don't let people know where you're going. I have a lot. I have a book of these. But everyone that you talk to, like me, will probably tell you all the same stuff. So.
What would you... I'm sure someone's listening to this podcast, potential client.
A client?
Yeah. Maybe they've never seen anybody. What advice would you give to that person who's, like, new, maybe wants to see somebody, has never done it before?
Do your research. The only thing barring you from having... There's no reason... There are too many beautiful girls. There are too many people who provide amazing experiences for you to have a bad experience or an experience you don't like. The only thing that would, inhibit you from doing that is, like, failing to do your research. As long as you, as a client, do your research, you will get the experience you want. If you don't do anything, well, you just might not get anything. If you do a little bit, you just might get a little bit. But if you just take time to like read her what advertisement did you find her on? Make sure you read that whole thing. Does she have a website? Read that.
The internet's great. You can find out so many things you want to know.
It's the whole of human knowledge, the entirety of human knowledge for our entire species existence at our fingertips. You can learn anything you like.
That's
please. All the information in aggregate.
We all got fucking internet. We all got access.
You don't all have internet. This is insensitive. I'm so sorry to the people who do not have access to internet. Look at your face. No, but I'm actually...
Someone's just like, goddamn Tank, you motherfucker. We don't got internet,
He's
bro.
over here hand cranking a fucking radio, a generator so they can hear this. And we shout out to y'all because y'all real listeners. Oh my God. Sorry.
Do you have a thing you would do if you could do anything? Like if money weren't a thing? Like if you could do...
Oh, if money weren't a thing.
If money weren't a thing.
My first thing was about to be taking all the money. All of Jeff Bezos and Warren Buffett.
If I could do anything, I'd be a billionaire.
If I could do anything, I would take all the billionaires' money, become a billionaire, and then disperse it to everyone just to the point that I was like a 50 millionaire. And then disappear. Okay. But that's it. But I mean, what's the world peace? Like, I don't know what that. I'm sorry. If I could do anything, I would just. I mean, anything. That's
we're talking anything.
I mean, right now, if this was, to be honest, there's so many things you could do. But if you were to ask me if I were drunk, I would be like, destigmatize sex work and make it just like a normal thing. Just because it's like so many people's jobs. I don't think people understand how many people's jobs this is.
It's a lot of people.
Think about your mom. You don't know. She could have been a sex worker. You will literally have no clue. You'll never know. You will never know. Your wife, you don't know if she used to show people her pussy for $50 in the park. You have no idea. You'll never know. You don't know. It could be you. You, your son, you. Did you ever used to get your dick sucked for a pack of beer? Like, everyone technically is a sex worker. Not really. But so many people.
Someone's listening like, my wife.
Yeah. So many people are that.
She loves me.
Your wife can, but then also those two things are, the Venn diagram of those things can overlap. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm just like, I just think it's too big. It's, again, sex work is a cornerstone of society, and I think it's been part of society for too long for people to try to, like, act like everyone, like, such a large amount of people don't do it.
It is, like, coming back to this fucking America thing, America's just so fucking weird about sex and shit.
It's weird.
It's like sex and also work. Like,
I watched a movie the other day where a woman, I'm sorry to cut you off, but talking about, because this fucking ticks me off every time. I watched a movie the other day where a man was divorcing his wife. His wife goes into the family room. She takes the gun out and she, in CGI, blows her fucking brains out on TV. Like real brain matter on the wall. Why can't we watch that but we can't see like a nipple? Oh my God.
I know, right? Like violence is like they're like, like murder, mass murder, totally cool. A nipple? Whoa.
P and V.
Only man.
P and only man nipples. And then also, like, no one really does.
My nipples are more offensive than your nipples, for sure.
That's, as a woman, I really take offense to that because you can't get arrested for your nipples.
People feel a certain way, though.
But I can go to prison.
Yeah, you can get arrested for it.
Jail is way different than being offended. prison.
Yeah.
If I can go to jail.
Okay, let's take. Let's say we're not in Atlanta right
now. Keep that in the podcast.
Okay, let's.
They can take me to jail for this shit.
Let's say that we're in New York City.
No,
okay?
Don't try to put it in a place where the only place in America where the law is different. Because that is not the norm. The fact of the matter is that outside of New York City and maybe Las Vegas, every place in America, your nipples, people might be like, "Oh my God, we hate those nipples." Someone might be like, 911, arrest this bitch. She's got her fucking nips out. And then I go to jail.
God damn, you're right.
Stop. I'm
I am the
serious.
patriarchy. It's horrible.
I'm serious.
I know, for real. No.
Keep that in the pot. Don't take that
Oh,
out.
I'm not taking that out.
Your face looks like you want to take it
I'm
out.
not taking... Fuck
these are
no.
These are the facts.
Fuck. The people need to get the real shit, you know?
Listen, and all I do is give them the real shit.
Goddamn right. Are you a fan of stand-up comedy?
Yes, I am.
Do you have a favorite comedian?
Like, over all time?
Or, I mean, who? Maybe now, maybe before, maybe, you know?
People I like are probably, like, I mean, I like too many up-and-coming stand-up people, like, in Chicago is too funny, right? There's so many up-and-coming people who are so funny that I don't even know if I can name them. I would have to go on my Instagram and just go down a fucking list. But if you want to just talk about, like, people who are, like, everyone would know, of course. I think Dave Chappelle, funniest nigga of all time. Oh my gosh, Dave Chappelle is so funny. Dave Chappelle is so funny. Super duper duper funny. Love Dave Chappelle. Also, Hannibal Buress. Funny as fuck.
He's funny.
In real life, funny.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Like, so I'm into that. Then, I mean, it's like names. I literally have to go through. I got a lot of names.
So, Chicago people, my buddy Kenyon Adam chick, he's in Chicago. I'll give you a shit. And then also Maddie Weiner.
Yes. Funny.
White chick, young?
Don't know her personally. Know her stuff.
That's
I
so
like
funny.
Her. Very
I'm about to
funny.
fucking text her right goddamn
funny
now.
And cute. Don't text her.
Not right now. After
I was
the
gonna say,
podcast.
what are you gonna say? Some prostitute loves your work.
I was gonna say escort, but
No, actually, don't introduce me. See, here's the thing that you don't understand. I'm not out. If you were to ever introduce me to anyone, you cannot say that. You have to be like,
I met somebody that heard your comedy. They liked you.
yeah, you couldn't
That's
be
all
like
I'm saying.
some escort.
No.
Like, people don't know me as an escort.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a thing.
I met somebody and they like your comedy. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, but you were like, I was gonna say some escort. Don't do that.
Well, I mean, you said prostitute, so I was like,
I was being like, I was really using a hyperbole to communicate how bizarre it would be for you.
That is wild.
People don't know my life. I can't. I mean, I've done real stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't know how anybody who is an entertainer even makes it without doing something on the side. How the fuck do you get by comfortably?
Stand up for sure. You make $0.
Yeah, I know.
Stand up, you make no money.
No money. Also, acting. You don't really make any money at all at first.
Yeah.
How can you modeling? How do people get by?
Yeah.
You have like a sugar daddy or something.
Man, Janelle, I appreciate you coming on the podcast.
Pew, 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 pew.
Pew, pew.
Sorry. No, I still have this.
Where can the people find you? Social media, web? Where can the people find you online if they want to find you?
I'm not really big on social media, which I know sounds counterintuitive, but I promise if you follow me on Twitter at
Meet Janelle Park?
Yep, think that's it. Then I promise I'll follow you back, and I'll post more content. But then also the best place to find me and keep you up to date with my real travels, because I'm really all about an in-person interaction. I'm about that action. I'm not about the play games on the internet. Meet me at www.meetjanellepark.com/meet. And that's where you will find all of the verification forms. Also, anybody else needs some sex workers on a podcast as consultants? I have nothing to do.
Yo, hell yeah.
So I'll be here. I'll be around. Thank you very much.
Fuck yeah. I appreciate you coming on the podcast. It's been so much fun. Fuck yeah.
I appreciate it. I'm sorry about this. I appreciate you.
Hell yeah. Listeners, we will be back later. That was my interview with Janelle Park. Yo, shout out Janelle. I appreciate you coming on the podcast. That was so much fun. Listeners, she just plugged it. You can find her on Twitter at Meet Janelle Park. Her website, meetjanellepark.com. I'll have links to both her website, her Twitter, in the show notes. Hit them show notes. Give her a follow. As always, you can find us on Twitter, on Instagram, at Full Service Pod. I am at Tank Funkadelic. This has been episode 79. I appreciate you being here. We will be back on Tuesday. Ooh boy, what's happening? I'm not sure if I'm going to do a solo or I got another interview, so we will see. All I know is that we will be here. If you enjoy the show, make sure you are subscribed on whatever platform you're listening to us on. Hit that follow button, hit that like button, hit that little heart symbol, and you'll be alerted as soon as those new episodes drop. If you want to support the show, head on over to patreon.com/fullservicepod. we have at least one Patreon exclusive episode every month that you can only hear on the old Patreon. So if you want to check it out, we got that breakup part 2 episode dropping probably in the next week or so. Patreon.com/fullservicepod. I feel like I don't say this enough, but if you want to be on the podcast, if you want to be a guest, if you want to hear anything talked about on the podcast, hit me up. You can hit me up on Twitter or send us an email, fullservicepod@gmail.com. Before we get out of here, oh boy, hey, you want some condoms? You want some lube? Momentum Intimacy? Hey, it's luxury. It's luxury right here from Atlanta, Georgia. Hey, try something new. Try something new. Hey, you might like it. You might not like it, but hey, you might like it. That's all you need. Click that link in the show notes. Get yourself some lube. Treat yourself to something nice. Okay, all right. That's enough of that. But yo, I'll be back. I'll be back next week. I hope you are as well. Hope you're good. Yo, the world's crazy. But oh yeah, also St. Patrick's Day. That's happening. Hey, happy I forget about every holiday that I'm like, oh, St. Patrick's Day, happy St. Patrick's Day. I hope you have a good week. I'll see you later. Peace. Full service.